we are going to see few important MCQs related to the face and the scalp. So number 1, this is the muscle which surrounds the orbit, it is called as orbicularis oculi. Number 3, which surrounds the eyeball, okay, that is your eyes, that is called orbicularis oculi. The most important MCQ about orbicularis oculi is its 3 parts: orbital part, palpebral part and lacrimal part. Orbital part, the action is tight closure, and the palpebral part light closure, and the lacrimal part is the very important one which dilates the lacrimal sac. That is MCQ. It doesn't constrict the lacrimal sac, it dilates. That is the only MCQ will be asked in orbicularis oculi. The nerve supply is temporal and zygomatic branch of facial nerve. That's all about the muscle orbicularis oculi. Second important thing about face is the buccinator. Look at this. Number 1 is your buccinator. Buccinator is a muscle of facial expression and it compresses the cheek against the teeth and gums. Okay, compress, not dilate. Though it is called as windblower or something, a trumpet muscle, it compresses the cheek. Okay, it prevents the food spillage of the food from the vestibule of the mouth. So these 2 points you should keep it in mind. Since it's a muscle of the face, it is supplied by the lower buccal branch of the facial nerve, but skin over the buccinator alone is supplied by the mandibular nerve, right? So don't get confused. Okay, sensory is different, motor is different. And the next one, buccinator is pierced by parotid duct. These are the 3 important questions related to the buccinator. And then scalp. Scalp MCQ is, first layer is S, skin. Skin of the scalp, we don't have much, only clinical significance, sebaceous cyst and other things, folliculitis. And number 2, connective tissue. This connective tissue is very important because this layer has rich blood supply and nerve supply. Neurovascular bundle is present in the second part, that is connective tissue. Since it is rich in blood supply, the scalp bleeds profusely. This is the reason why the scalp wound bleeds profusely. And number 3, why the scalp wound bleeds profusely? Because all the blood vessels, they enter through the connective tissue layer. Connective tissue layer doesn't have muscle fiber, so since the connective tissue encircles the blood vessel wall, when there is any cut injury, the blood vessel wall is not able to contract properly because it is only made up of connective tissue. The connective tissue doesn't have muscle, so it is not able to contract. So the wound will not close, so it will bleed profusely. This is the reason why the scalp wound bleeds profusely, because the connective tissue layer which surrounds the wall of the blood vessel, 2 over. And then third is the aponeurotic layer. Aponeurotic layer gives attachment to the frontalis and occipitalis, 2 muscles. Then that is the reason why there is collection of blood around the eye, that is called black eye. So subaponeurotic layer, it means below the aponeurotic layer, if there is any bleed, that bleed will come and just collect around the eyelid. Why? Because the frontalis muscle, it doesn't have any bony attachment and it straight away it gets its attachment to the skin of the eyelid. That is a very important salient point. Occipitalis muscle, it gets attachment with the nuchal lines in the occipital bone, but the frontalis muscle, it doesn't have any attachment over the bone. It straight away goes and gets its insertion into the palpebral eyelid. Okay, that's why the bleed is collected around the eyelid and it is called as black eye. That is very important, subaponeurotic layer. And then fourth layer is your one is SCAL, loose areolar tissue. Loose areolar tissue, we have the emissary veins. This is also called as dangerous area of the scalp. If there is any infection in this area, straight away it will be entering into the intracranial veins. Okay, cavernous sinus, everything is there. So that's why it is called as dangerous area of the scalp is layer number 4, that is called loose areolar tissue. Last is pericranium. Pericranium, you have the sutures. So your pericranium, if it just above the pericranium only, you will be having the below the pericranium only, you will be having the sutures. So the pericranium, if it dips down into the sutures, if there is any blood collected below the pericranium, what happens? It will be limited to the suture line, because this pericranium dips down into the suture. It means it is attached to the sutures. So if there is any bleeding beneath the pericranium, it will be loculated, it will be present in one side of the suture line, it will not cross a suture line. But in other cases, if there is something called as caput, caput means normally when the baby comes out through the vagina, the bones will override. So that time extra deposit of the fluid occurs. That fluid, if it is collected above the pericranium, it can cross the sutural lines. That is the difference between the cephal hematoma and caput succinidum. So this is the difference they will ask you in the MCQ. Cephal hematoma will not cross the suture line because it lies beneath the pericranium, but the caput succinidum can cross the sutural line because it lies above the pericranium, because pericranium is attached or dipped into the sutural lines. That is the MCQ. These are all the MCQs related to the scalp. And then scalp blood supply is very important. Anterior part of the scalp, here you will be having supratrochlear, this area, supratrochlear and supraorbital nerves and blood vessels are here. And here if you see laterally, you will be having superficial temporal artery, and behind the ear you will be having posterior auricular artery, and posterior to that you will be having occipital artery. These are the blood supply of the scalp. And nerve supply the same way, you will be having supraorbital, supratrochlear. When you come here, zygomaticotemporal and auriculotemporal nerves will also be coming here, and behind the ear you will be having greater occipital, lesser occipital and least occipital nerves are present here, because these are all sensory nerves. That's all about the scalp. So the scalp nerve supplies frontalis and occipitofrontalis is there, that gets its nerve supply from the facial nerve. So these are all the MCQs related to the scalp.